want to talk about drawing. Kind of on a drawing kick today, and I want to talk about low self-esteem in the artist and drawing. Unfortunately, all this is often the same thing. An artist is just as much gifted as they are cursed, because they have this gift, and then if they're really gifted, they're discovered very early on by their parents and friends that, oh, they're this gifted person and they can sing and they can dance or they can do whatever. With me, it's drawing. And so gigantic expectations were placed upon me. Huge. And it isn't like these people meant to do this. It isn't like these people are consciously saying, we're placing these huge expectations on you, and you better do this or that. In most cases, that didn't happen. In some cases, it did. You know, we've all heard the classic, trite, cliched thing with, the father who's a doctor, and his son's going to be the chip off the old block and be a doctor. So he pushes his son to be a doctor. And his son can't stand hearing this. His son has no desire to be a doctor, but he's kind of not wanting to let his father down. Wants to please his father. He has to be the spitting image of his father. He might worship his father, so he has to become like his father. But yet he has no desire to be a doctor. Now, some of these people do. I'm talking about the people that don't. It's clear that some people carry on the family tradition, the family gene pool. They're all kind of the same. Entire generations of artists have followed in their ancestors' footsteps and have become artists and carried the legacy farther and deeper into time, and that's fantastic. I'm talking about people who have no desire at all to live up to the expectations of what other people think they should be. And in general, you probably shouldn't do this anyway, because it'll make you neurotic and eternally sad. And unfortunately, having a parent that's super successful, or at least role models who are super successful that you follow and admire, creates a giant problem, because as an artist you're often very hard on yourself and you can never compare, and your work is never quite good enough, and you want to throw it away and start over again or not draw anymore. If there's someone so overwhelmingly successful, it does exactly that. It stifles the artist, paralyzes them with unbelievable fear and self-doubt. How could I ever live up to be whomever? How can you ever possibly be on the level of yada yada yada? This is what creates so much misery and suffering, drug addiction, and drinking. And believe me, I'm talking about stuff that I've experienced. So I'm not some person who's sitting here having never have gone through this, and I'm on some rarefied mountain of enlightenment, and I've never encountered this stuff. I have encountered it way more than I may portray. I've seen a lot of things that have exactly to do with me being afraid to pursue what I was born with, simply because I don't think I'm good enough. And what's even more terrifying is when the stakes are raised and there's a contest or an art show, and you're then forced to sort of, step it up and enter and prepare something, prepare a body of work, prepare a portfolio for an interview, anything to show what you're made of. It's very terrifying, intimidating. You won't be able to sleep. Some people just can't do it. Now, some people thrive on this, but again, the whole Type A personality go-getter thing, you know, that's cool. You know, I can go there a little bit. For most artists, it's not very easy to do that. Most artists are sensitive and they explore their emotions, and they're not all about just making a sale and I have to sell and sell and sell and sell. You know, there's exceptions to this, like Andy Warhol, for example. He was completely a salesman, completely shameless in his self-promotion and his factory mentality of churning out silk screens and having other people do it for him. You know, that's an entrepreneur. It's fine. That's exactly what this is really kind of heading towards. It's about breaking out of the habits of the stereotypical, cliched lifestyle and mindset of the artist who has to be condemned to this suffering, miserable figure who's afraid of their own shadow. That isn't how it really is anyway, but in some cases it is. But overall, you're not condemned or sentenced to stay there and be like that. You can very well break out of it. And what helps to overcome it is simply realizing that everybody else feels the same way. They're just as much in doubt of themselves as you are. Right across the street here. Okay. They're just as much as in doubt about their own abilities as you are. In lots of cases, worse than you are. If you've entered a juried exhibition, or if you've even drawn in a sketchbook for years but have shown nobody, you're often light years ahead of people who are gifted and talented but don't even do that. You'd be surprised how many people who are so gifted, I've seen these people, and talented, who do not even remotely use any of it. They barely use it. And if they do, it's just to sort of do something and then withdraw it. Like, oh, I have to do this, I have to draw something for someone, and then I'm not doing it. When clearly they have the talent for it. So, don't let your own idea of what you are, and moreover, the ideas of what others may think about you, prevent you from doing what you want. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much.